Hello friends, welcome to another Lost Ark video. Who knew it would be Lost Ark? Maybe someday it'll be something other than Lost Ark, but for now, we're 100% Lost Ark. What am I going to be talking about today, you may ask yourselves? Well, I'm sure you already know since you've clicked on the video, but today we're going to be talking about why I keep playing Lost Ark, what I enjoy about it, and what initially kind of hooked me into the game, and why I think the game is still enjoyable to me and many other people, not just me. I mean, I probably do like it more than other people, but also, like, you know, other people do like it, okay? I'm not coping. Anywho, I might as well do the plug right now. Mostly because some of y'all have really good ideas, and if you guys have any ideas for videos that you want to see made in the future, always leave them in the comments or just anywhere in my community posts, just anywhere. I try to read as many things as I can. If you have cool ideas, let me know. If they're cool, I make video. Easy. And of course, leave a like if you like the video, helps me out, algorithm stuff, and subscribe if you want to see more daily Lost Ark content. Okay, on to the video. Let's go with the most obvious thing here, right? What makes you play the game? What drags you into the game initially? Let go of perfect swing a little early there. Listen, I'm talking, okay? It's hard. Obviously, first thing for me, the combat. And I know this is a big thing for a lot of people. The combat in Lost Ark is just second to none. For an ARPG, it feels the most crisp and smooth any game has offered in its genre. There's honestly no arguing about it. Like, I don't understand how you could argue it. It's just the best. This is coming from somebody who's put thousands of hours into D3, thousands of hours into PoE, thousands of hours into D2. Basically, I'm an ultra nerd. I love ARPGs in general. I love games in general, if that wasn't apparent. Probably an unhealthy amount, but that sort of allows me to have a lot of knowledge in how games play. This game, very responsive feeling. When you do something, you did it. The game didn't decide to do it for you or do it half-assed. You made that decision. You died because you fucked up. That's something a lot of games can't say they have. You have other games with that sort of combat style. Think of things like Souls-likes, Monster Hunter, stuff like that, where the combat is very good, and it's a very integral part of the game. But for ARPGs, it's nigh unheard of. I will say, despite the combat feeling very tight and overall just mechanically enjoyable, other games do have decent combat. It's not to say like the Diablo 3 combat was bad. Diablo 3 has a lot of problems, but its combat system is probably one of the least of its issues. The whole abandonment of the game, I think, is a bigger issue, but this is about Lost Ark, not D3. In PoE, of course, they slowed the game down a lot, so the combat feels even less smooth. I don't know what they're doing with PoE, man. Chris Wilson knows something that Brother Chris ain't know. But that's one of the biggest reasons why I still enjoy Lost Ark to this day, the combat. And that's one of the things that first hook you into the game. The next biggest thing about Lost Ark that I'm sure a lot of people look at and go, wow, that really makes me want to play this game. Legion raids. I am less so excited for Legion raids than a lot of people, but that is not to say that I don't like them and think they're well done, for the most part. Asterisk. Legion raids, to me, is one of the better things in the game. I won't say they're the best thing in the game, because again, that's my opinion. And I do have some issues with some of the Legion raids, specifically Belshazzar and Vultan. Vultan is less so of an issue now that we overgear it by a ton, but I think Vultan is just, like, so telegraphed and hard-coded that it's just not fun. That's why I much prefer Vicus, because she has a lot of randomness to her, and it's more reactive rather than predictive. And Belshazzar, my big problem with Belshazzar is it just takes too goddamn long to do it. Whether you're doing it on one character or 6, like, it takes a long time. Gates 1 through 6, even if you one-shot everything, takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, I know it's not comparable to something like WoW, like a raid reclear in WoW. However, you have to keep in mind in WoW, the game isn't built around you having to do the raid on 6 different characters. So I feel like it's not a direct comparison. But as far as the raids themselves mechanically go, and the fights, they're very well done for the most part. Again, the only one that I really don't like is Vultan, and that's because of reasons stated above. Vicus, I think, is amazing. Clown... Clown I could live without. I don't like Gate 2 Clown. I think Gate 2 Clown is pretty poor design, and the fact that both the bosses can stack attacks in such a way where the only way you're living is if you time stop. I think forcing a player to time stop or die is kind of bad. But that's my opinion, and again, it's okay to have a different opinion than me. Gate 3 Clown I think is mostly fine. Gate 1 Clown I think is fine. I have no problems with that. Vicus, Gate 1 is kind of eh. I could do without it. But Gate 2 and 3 I think are very well done. And Belshazzar. Belshazzar, oh my god. The pug experience for Belshazzar I think is generally poor. Especially if you're trying to do Gate 5, Gate 6. Unless you're running with people you actually know. Title is meaningless. Yeah, it helps you get into parties, but it doesn't mean anything. One of the best indicators for player skill in this game has always been roster level. Title is fucking meaningless in most cases. Some people have title, and I'm not even sure how they are able to log into the game sometimes. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the raid itself, not the players that play the raid. I think Gate 1 is fine. If not a little bit too high in damage. If you're doing it on 1490 item level, especially on squishy classes, a lot of things can nearly one-shot you. It feels pretty punishing for people who aren't super attentive or super... I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but super aware of everything going on. It definitely feels like a jump up in difficulty for most people. Like, significant jump up in difficulty. Is that necessarily a bad thing? Again, I don't know. It's just something to note, for sure. Gate 2, Belshazzar, is interesting. We're not quite at the point where most people overgear Procol to the point of it just not mattering. So the outside group being not so great kind of matters still. If outside group only staggers one time, kind of bad. Makes the fight much more annoying. Sometimes you just die to not having a stun or a consumable, and he does the laser spear one-shot thing. When we get more gear, I don't think it'll matter as much, but for now, can be hit or miss. Overall, I think the fight is fine, if not a little bit on the meh side. Gate 3, I think, is fine until you enrage her, and then trying to play a melee class when she's enraged is like, do you enjoy sitting on the floor? Circle Y or N. If you circle N, you probably don't want to do Gate 3, because you're only going to be on the floor. I think that's miserable. Otherwise, I think the fight is generally fine. Gate 4, I think, is probably the best gate in Belshazzar. All of the mechanics are very fair. They're telegraphed. If you know what you're doing, nothing will ever surprise you. It's very... you know what's going to happen, mechanic-wise, and there's also enough randomness to make it not just, like, a snooze fest like Vaultin. I think Gate 4 is like the pinnacle of good design, IMO. Gate 5, I think Gate 5 is better than Gate 6, but that's not saying much. I think Gate 5 could do with having some of the fat trimmed down. Like, why does she have 250 health bars in Gate 6? And I believe she has it in Gate 5 as well. Why does she have so much health? Why is that necessary? She might only have 200 bars in Gate 5. Either way, why does she have so much health? She doesn't need that much health, my man. Why do we need to do shapes twice? Please, we don't need to do it twice. They're very insistent on the do this mechanic twice thing, and it's like, do we really need that? I don't know. I just feel like it's lazy, if nothing else, and uninteresting. And Gate 6 design, while thematically is very, very cool, I think from a gameplay raid design perspective is very poor. I think for the most part, when you get more gear, a fight should become easier, and that just doesn't happen with Gate 6. Like, you're going to have to hold DPS for a certain amount of time no matter what, no matter how much DPS you have. And even in a group of full 15-20s, if they all know how to play the game, you already have to hold DPS. I think that is very poor game design. But, again, just an opinion. Why do I bring up all these cons when this is supposed to be a positive pro video of why I play the game? Well, that's just to show you that despite all of these things that I think are issues, the game is still amazing, and the raids themselves are truly an experience. And it's only when you get them on farm for a certain amount of time, having to run them on a bazillion characters, do you start really getting into the minor nichities, that's a new word, I invented that. The niche things that kind of really aren't super big problems, but the more you do it, the more it makes you kind of want to pull your hair out, because you're like, why is this a thing, please? But I don't know. Overall, the combat and the raids are probably the biggest things as to why I started playing the game and why I still play the game. Looking forward to everything coming up. Of course, there's a lot of smaller things like farming, like Chaos Dungeons. I enjoy mindless grinding, hence why I played so much D3. There's something about just doing this, not having to think, pressing buttons. You get the dopamine going, you get the serotonin, you get the feel good, you make the progress, the number go up, you throw on some Northern Lion on the second monitor, you listen to the Eggman go, you have a good time. I don't know. Not everything has to be 100% focused, grind, you know? It's okay to have some mindless activities. But, ultimately, that's why I still play Lost Ark. That's why I started playing Lost Ark, and that's why I still play Lost Ark. Let me know why you still play the game. Let me know what you think the game can improve on. Let me know what you didn't like about the game if you quit. Because I always enjoy hearing your guys' takes and how you guys experience the game. Because that's what makes humans humans. We all have different experiences and different thoughts and feelings on things. I'm done rambling. I need to take a sip of water, but I'll do that after the video. Spare you the slurpy slurp. Thank you all for watching and listening to your boy go on about God knows what for God knows how long. I will see you all in the next one. Lost Ark Gamers, Lost Ark Gaming, Gamers out. Hit you with a Makoko. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Bye!